Don't we love winning arguments and how we feel after? In today's Gospel reading, that is Mark chapter 9, verses 30 to 37, we have Jesus and his disciples traveling from the mountain through Galilee, and whilst on the way, Jesus is sharing with his disciples that he is soon to be handed over into the hands of men, where he is going to suffer and be killed, and then on the third day he would rise again. Now, the disciples don't understand this fully and are afraid to ask Jesus anything. When they reach their destination, that is into Capernaum, Jesus asks his disciples what they had been discussing whilst on the journey. And then we see that the disciples are unable to answer Jesus or give him a response, and they are silent because they know in their heart of hearts that they were not discussing, but they were arguing amongst themselves as to who is the greatest amongst them. And then we have Jesus, who calls them together, sits them down, and tells them that whoever wants to be the first, he must be the last of all and the servant of all. And then he brings this child in front of them, takes him in his arms, and tells them that whoever receives one of such child in my name, they not only accept me but the one who sent me. If you go to see, the disciples have been with Jesus for the last 3 years. They have witnessed Jesus' miracles. They have heard so much of his teachings. They have listened to him. They have learned so many things from him on a personal level. They have been mentored by him. They themselves have been able to perform miracles, and yet we see there is this disconnect when Jesus is discussing something or telling them something so close to his heart, so close to the mission that he is on. And many a times we too find ourselves engaging in arguments when it comes to religion, on traditions, on what needs to be done, whilst forgetting the more important things on the values and what Jesus is actually telling us, the commandments of God, and how we are supposed to live our lives. And when Jesus brings this child in front of the disciples, it is how a child is in front of Jesus. He would be so free, so happy, so full of joy, so unbothered about traditions and customs and things like that. Can our love for Jesus be that way? So open, so full of life, full of wonder, full of joy, and that even our love with one another is not biased or based on external circumstances, but is just free, like how a child would interact with other children. If in today's day we find ourselves that we are constantly arguing with our spouse, with our children, with our parents, with our siblings, with our neighbors, with our domestic help, with our colleagues, and can you picture Jesus ask you this question today? What are you discussing and arguing about? And see where you stand with your conversations with people and God. I will leave you with these words of Thomas Merton. Pride makes us artificial, whilst humility makes us real. This is my gospel reflection for today's reading. I will see you tomorrow. God bless you.